UticaTV Overtime, where each week we will be keeping you up to date with everything that is going on with your Utica Pioneers. I'm your host, Andres Jaime Mendez.
And I'm James Brown. Let's get right into the action from the past week. Earlier this week, the Utica women's volleyball team matched up against the Hamilton Continentals. The Pioneers came into this game with a record of 2-0. And on the other side, Hamilton was playing their first match of the season. Hamilton quickly jumped out to a 16-5 lead in the first set. And after a brief Utica rally, the Pioneers' hopes were dashed as the Continentals took the first set by a score of 25-12.
The Pioneers kept the second set close as they had the score at 7-5 at one point. But once again, Hamilton caught fire and won the second set 25-15. In the third set, Hamilton came out hot, jumping out to a quick 11-2 lead. The Pioneers were never able to recover from that early deficit and lost the final set to the tune of 25-7.
This marked the first loss of the season for the Pioneers, bringing them to a record of 2-1 on the season. They would go on to play 5 more matches before the end of this week, and their next match will be on Wednesday when they travel to Cazenovia to take on the Wildcats.
Women's tennis kicked off the season Wednesday afternoon, hosting Russell Sage College. The Pioneers were looking to start the season hot, with 3 freshmen, 3 seniors, and 2 middleclassmen, with a lot to offer to the Pioneers.
The team started with a bang, taking the first 2 doubles matches. Senior Ellen Liga and sophomore Petra Hirnen took the first match with an 8-6 win. Junior Selima Dezarvik, along with freshman Madison Brand, took an 8-6 victory. Russell Sage went on to win the third doubles match 8-6.
Russell Sage College showed some fight in the singles matches. The Pioneers dropped the first through 4th matches. Freshman Jackie Roberts, playing in the 5th match, got the victory. Sophomore Emily DePasquale put a win on the board in match 6, but it was too little too late as the Pioneers fell 5-4 in the season opener against Russell Sage College.
The Utica University field hockey team played their second game of the season against the Morrisville Mustangs. The Pioneers were looking for their first win following the shutout loss to Oneonta in their season opener.
After the Pioneers had a first quarter goal waved off, they waited until the second quarter to net their first goal of the season on the penalty stroke for Mackenzie Mix. The score held at 1-0 until the Pioneers had an offensive explosion in the third quarter. They netted 3 goals in 6 minutes, including a pair from freshman first-year forward Alyssa Fragapane.
Both teams were able to score following that outburst, and Utica finished the game, securing their first victory 4-0. The Pioneers will travel to SUNY Brockport to look to continue their win streak.
Last weekend, Utica's football team faced off against the Keene Cougars. The Pioneers entered the game coming off a strong Week 1 win against the University of Rochester. The Pioneers got off to a strong start as they found the end zone on their opening drive. The dynamic duo of Nate Palmer and Braden Zelenovic connected for the team's first touchdown of the day. That score was the 4th of the season between the pair.
The Pioneer offense struggled to get going following the opening drive. They allowed a pair of safeties before the end of the first half, and that brought the score to 7-4 at the half. After going through much of the third quarter scoreless, the Pioneers' offense finally started to get it going again. Starting on the inside of their own 20, Utica put together a 9-play drive that resulted in a rushing touchdown by backup quarterback Sam Florio. That brought the Pioneer lead up to 14-7.
Following an interception by linebacker Anthony Novello, the Pioneers worked yet another quick touchdown drive. This one took just 4 plays and a strong run by James Salz to find the end zone, extending the Utica lead to 21-7. The Pioneers allowed a touchdown late, but it was too late, and Utica went out to win by a score of 21-14.
Nate Palmer continued his dominance as he finished the game with 6 catches for 138 yards and a touchdown. Good work, Nate. The Pioneer defense stepped up in a big way in this one. After following a whopping 7.5 yards per play in their home opener, they limited Kane to just 4.3 yards per play.
The unit also continued its dominance in defending the pass, holding their opponents to under 200 yards through the air for the second week in a row. Following this Week 2 win, they will travel to Western New England University and face off against the Golden Bears.
The women's golf team was up to quick and early competitions throughout this past weekend. Team members put up stats this weekend as Riley Morris finished with 184 strokes, Carly Stefani with 187, Hannah Kirk with 199, and Paige Graves with 222 strokes to cap off the weekend.
The Pioneers placed 11th out of 15 teams. The Pioneers will head down to Saratoga Springs, where they will take part in the Northeast Women's Golf Conference Fall Classic on October 1st through 2nd, taking place at the McGregor Links Country Club.
The men's soccer team will look to build off their win this past Sunday as they take on the SUNY Delhi Broncos at 4 p.m. on Pioneer Field. The Pioneers enter the game with a 2-1 record as this marks the last non-conference game before Empire 8 play. The Broncos come into town with a record of 3-1.
The Pioneers are back in action again on Saturday as they begin conference play at home against Alfred University at 2 p.m. The game between the Pioneers and the Saxons will also take place at Pioneer Field. Coach Mark Antonio and the team have a big week ahead as they will look up to pick up some crucial points without star player Sean Weaver. To close out the upcoming week, the women's soccer team will take on crosstown rival Hamilton College at the Pioneer Field. Utica will look to break the team's longest losing streak against Hamilton this Sunday. The last time the team beat the Continentals was back in 2009. Be sure to come out and support your Pioneers on Sunday at 1 o'clock. And that's all the Utica sports that we have for you this week. Be sure to keep an eye out for our Moose Minute series coming out soon that takes an inside look at your Pioneers.
And be sure to follow us on our social media to see when UticaTV will be broadcasting your Utica Athletics.
Thanks for watching, and always remember to
fear the Moose.